Please turn your sound on to hear full explanations of our answers. Thank you. Question is, how to increase stamina in bed? And the answer to that is, there are short and long-term methods. Now, let me give you a few short-term methods, because there are a lot of them. You can use anesthetic products, such as delay condoms or anesthetic delay sprays. And both of these work by making sex last longer, but there are drawbacks because there is a bit of an interruption, and also it kind of dilutes the pleasure. It's not as good. Then there are other techniques, such as you can masturbate beforehand. If you know exactly when you're going to have sex, or pretty much, you can try masturbating between half an hour to 2 hours before, and that helps a lot of guys because the second round tends to be longer. You can try having a couple of beers or a couple of glasses of wine before you have sex. That nearly always makes guys last longer. Another technique is there's a yogic technique. You can put the tip of your tongue onto the roof of your mouth, and I recommend you keep your mouth closed when you do this, otherwise it's going to kind of look a bit weird. And what you do is you do that during sex, and it will help some guys to last longer. Another technique is when you're having penetrative sex. Now, think of doing sets of 7, and the way it works is you do 7 slow penetrations to start off with, and for the next round you do 1 quick penetration and then 7 slow ones, and for the 6 slow ones, and then for the next round you do 2 quick ones and the remaining slow, and the next round 3 quick ones, until eventually you're doing 7 quick penetrations. And then what you do is you reverse it. You go back to slow. And by the way, when you do this technique, do not count this out loud, because a side effect of this technique is your partner is going to love this. She's going to go nuts for it. It's to her, it's going to be predictable. It's going to be unpredictable, even though to you it's predictable. So if you read it out loud, if you say it out loud, you're going to spoil it for her. But she'll go crazy if you don't say this to her, and it will help you last longer. Another one, there's a technique called the coital alignment technique. This is where you have sex, and you should Google it to try and get see what it looks like. But basically, it's a bit like missionary, but instead of going in and out, you remain inside, but you move up and down your partner's body. And the effect is that your pubic bone, which is just above the base of your penis, that rubs up and down against her clitoris, and it makes her go wild. It's crazy. And because you're not going in and out, it also reduces the friction on your penis, so you last longer too. So anyway, those are a whole raft of short-term methods. But listen, these short-term methods, they're tricks, they're tips, and they only work temporarily. And the thing is, do you want to rely on short-term methods? Don't you want to be able to have more, in inverted commas, normal sex without all these extra tips and techniques and still be able to last long? Well, most guys do. And let me tell you about long-term techniques to be able to permanently, and the way that these work is that they permanently cure you. They permanently get rid of your premature ejaculation. The only way to do that, obviously, is to go to the root cause of your problem and deal with it there. Now, what is the root cause of premature ejaculation? Let me tell you, it's got nothing to do with your body, and it's all to do with your mind. It's about, you go into the bedroom, okay, and you go in with a lack of confidence in your abilities to perform. You have self-doubts, and then you have fear also, because you remember all the times when you had premature ejaculation before, so you think this is going to happen again, or you think, well, maybe there's a tiny chance it won't happen. But as soon as you start to feel any pleasure at all from from the sensations that you're getting, as soon as you start to feel any pleasure, I know what's happening in your mind. You start to think immediately, oh no, it's going to happen again. I'm getting too aroused. It's going to happen again. And then what happens is your body undergoes what is known as the fight or flight response. It's when you have fear, and fear can spiral out of control, and it leads to something physical happening. This is actually something that happens with animals in the wild, right? When they sense predators nearby, their pupils will dilate, their heart rate will increase, and all these things are intended to help them evade capture. But also, when animals have sex out in the wild, if they sense fear, then they will also prematurely ejaculate. The male will, and because the whole point is they're having sex to keep the species going. And if they sense a predator's nearby, well, the best thing that they can do is to quickly ejaculate and then both of them can run away and survive, but also it means that she will also still have been inseminated, and there's a chance of keeping the species going. And that is why you prematurely ejaculate. It's actually a genetic advantage that every guy has in him when he feels this kind of fear in the bedroom. But the difference between premature ejaculators like you and guys who don't have this problem at all is that they don't have this fear. They go in confident. They don't have this self-doubt. They don't have any of these problems. In fact, if you were to have amnesia, somehow something happened to you, you know, God forbid, but if you were to have amnesia, then if you went into the bedroom, you wouldn't actually prematurely ejaculate anymore, because you wouldn't remember ever having prematurely ejaculated. You would only expect to have a good outcome from sex. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to get amnesia. That's not something we can do. But there is a way to permanently cure you, to get rid of this root cause, to transform you into the confident guy who has every single, you know, who knows his body is going to perform. He's not even thinking about it. He's going in there just thinking about having fun. There is a way to do that. And the way to do that, what I've done is I've put a link in the description box below. And that's a link to a website where a guy who has helped thousands of men with premature ejaculation just like you, he's helped them transform from your state right now to the confident state, where you go in and you're just as confident having sex without there being any problems as you are crossing the road. You know, you don't expect to get run over when you cross the road. You don't hesitate and take 10 minutes to cross the road because you're afraid of what might happen. You go in there confident. And it's the same thing when guys have been cured and for guys who don't have this premature ejaculation problem. So if you click on the link below, it'll take you to a site where this guy's helped thousands of men achieve that through various therapeutic techniques. And if you click, then you will see immediately some advice there that he's going to give you now straight away that will start being of use to you. So please click on that link. You will be blown away by what he has to say, and you will really benefit from it, and you will be on the right path to becoming a former premature ejaculator, but a guy who once had it and will never ever have it again. So click that link, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Take care.